Thank you. I think we're good now. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Hello, everybody. Good morning from this side of the world. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much, my coach, our dear coach, who, Coach Olamide, who shared a very beautiful welcome, remark there, just sharing from his own experiences and all of that. I must commend him because I know that it takes effort. You can just be succeeding on your own, flying high in your career, and just enjoying yourself without bothering to look and help others also. So when people take the effort to say, hey, I can see something, I can see possibilities, I want to bring others in, we should absolutely appreciate them for that. So please, can we just do the clap emoji just to appreciate Coach Olamide for putting this together, out of a shared desire to help others as well. Great. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So my name is Christina Soname, and I'm just going to get right into the conversation that I've been assigned to take this morning. But please let me know as we go ahead, there'll be moments to answer a question in the chat box and all of that. So I want to encourage you, don't be far from your devices, from your chat box. We'll have an interactive time together. Awesome. So let me just go right ahead to share my screen. Just confirming that we can feed up. Please, can you give me feedback with your audio that you can see my slides? So I'll just go right ahead.
Yes, you can see your slides.
Thank you. So let's get right into the conversation. I believe we are in for a great time, so get right into it. So my focus for this morning is Dear Young Professional, how to lead, thrive, and transition in the age of AI. And I really like this topic because, many of us have heard and seen a lot of things about AI in the last, recent months, last 2 to 3 years. But this year it's been like, okay, this AI thing is here for real. And, the question is, what are the implications for you as a young professional, either building a career or building a business, right? Whether in the tech space or not. And, one of the reasons why I believe today's conversation will be really helpful is because we will start out by seeing what exactly has changed, life before versus life in the age of AI. What was the workplace like? What has changed? So that you can understand the changes that you need to make or the adjustments that you need to make, even as you build your own career. Because I can assure you that if you just do things as it used to be before AI, you will set yourself back, whereas AI could actually be a tool for you to launch forward significantly. So how do we leverage AI? Or how do we understand our world of AI well enough to position correctly? So let's look at, I got the privilege of starting my own career in consulting in particular. I started out in another field, but I got into consulting exactly 10 years ago in 2015, my first full-time role in a Big Four organization. And when I was doing this research, I just realized again afresh how much the age of AI has changed the scope of things. And I want us to talk about that in the next few slides. So please follow me closely. So life before versus life in the age of AI. Let's look at some things, right? Number one, entry-level work. What did entry-level work look like before versus what does it look like now? Again, it's important for us to spotlight this because if you come into the workforce doing business as usual, or you still operate business as usual now, you may be left behind. So entry-level work, before, entry-level guys, all you did when you come in is routine tasks. And those who are experienced in the room can confirm this. If I had the time, I'd like to go around and say, look, what did you do within your first weeks of work? Especially for those who started to work, maybe 10, 5, 6 years ago. You realize a lot of entry-level roles had to do with data entry. In fact, some people, I remember I was listening to a career leader recently sharing his story. He's a very senior executive at a bank now. And he was sharing how when he started, you get this offer letter, you now have a role in the bank, you're excited. I'm a big boy now, you share testimony in church. And then you get to work thinking, okay, I've arrived. This is the part where they give me technical stuff. all the things I learned in school, the YDX, it's time to show my skills. And it's like the first few weeks, he was running errands. He was the one they were sending to drop a file at a client's office, to deliver something, even to buy lunch for more senior staff. And he just had to ask himself those first few weeks, hey God, is this all my BSc counts for? But a lot of people who actually started their career, much earlier can relate to this filing, data entry. But a number of those things have been taken over by artificial intelligence. We don't need a human being to do those things anymore. I was reading in the news yesterday that Amazon was announcing that it has now onboarded these 1 million robots. So today, Amazon has 2.5 million staff. 1 million of them are robots. That's the reality of the world. What are those robots doing? They are doing things that human beings used to do before. So all of that is off the table. Routine tasks off the table. So actually, from your first day at work, we want to see strategic value. From your first day in business, don't come and give us routine stuff. We're looking for strategic value. It's expected early now, right? So that's something to bear in mind. So when you're coming, you can't come with that, oh, I just started now, it's my first day at work. You have to have researched the company, researched the industry, researched the problems. Like, you have to come ready to add value from day one. And this is so important because it's a major shift, it's a real major shift because it's different from how it used to be 10 years ago or even just 5 years ago. Another thing that we've seen change with the age of AI is career paths. Before now, you come into an organization, an industry, you're thinking about how you go, maybe for example, with banking from executive, entry-level person to business officer and all those cadres all the way up. Or maybe it's consulting, you want to go from, staff assistant to experienced hire to semi-senior to senior. There were all these cadres and everybody was just like, okay, what's the career ladder like? But now, career paths are non-linear, and that's part of why we're even talking about transitions. You could find yourself transitioning from one industry to another just after 2 years of being in one place. It's normal now, right? The length of time, per job has reduced significantly. We're seeing more job hopping and all of that, and it's normal. So now you're not just thinking about, maybe you come into an organization. It's beyond how do I get to the top of this organization. It's actually, you have to have a holistic view of the industry, of all the things that you can do with your skill, how you can leverage your skill, even to do other things in other industries. You have to have a wider view of things. And this is so important. Even if you're in a room today, you're a data scientist, there are many expressions that can come out of you. You're no longer boxed. There are many industries you can play. There are many types of work you can do. There are some work you can do that don't even have the title of data scientist, for example, but part of it requires that skill that you have. So you have to really, when you're on LinkedIn, I always encourage early career professionals at this point, you should be looking at people, you should be researching people who have similar skills as you to see what kind of jobs they are doing or what kind of businesses they are building, so that it opens your mind to options that are available to you. Do you see? Right? You're checking out people who have similar skills as yourself, doing those search online to just see, oh, I could be this, oh, I could be that. You're combining your different skills. Okay, I'm good at this, I'm good at that. Data science is just one. A combination of your skills, you can combine them differently to achieve, or accommodate different possibilities for your career. And that's such a beautiful thing, right? You're not stuck. Another thing that is different, right? World before AI and world now, before, value was effort and time. Before now, most companies, you check in at a particular time, check out at a particular time. We're seeing you when you come to the office, we see you, the way you're going up and down, busy. We're like, this guy hardworking. Now, the value measure is different. What new idea did you bring to the table? Right? What new thing came out of you? What innovation, what insightful additions came out of you? So that's so important, so that you not just feel like after all the hours I put in, I devoted my life, I devoted my time. You have to work smart, right? Because especially with remote working, we're not just checking for how many hours you spend, because we can't even tell how many hours you spend on our work anyway. It's more about the value you're adding in terms of innovation and insight, creative, measurable, quantifiable value. So you must have your eyes on that. Actually ask yourself, what value did I add this year? What value have I added in H1, compared to what I did in 2024? That is your measure of value. No longer how many hours did I work for, how much effort. We appreciate effort, but we reward results. Please note that in this life of AI, we appreciate effort, but we reward results. So you must keep your eyes on the results, whether it's for your clients or it's in your organization. What is the result that I'm supposed to be delivering here? Keep your eyes on that. Don't get busy doing nothing. Don't be busy, stretch long hours, but we can't point to the value that you've added. That won't do good for you. Okay, let's look at one or two more. Tool mastery, right? Before now, all of us, earlier, it was just Microsoft Office. You're just, incrementally improving your skills. Now, you've gotten a grasp of one tool. Next thing, something better is on the radar. The entire organization is switching. Constant evolution is happening. So that tells you already that, that open-mindedness of learning, that ability to, stay open, on what are the new tools on the block? What can they do for me? How can they help me get my work done faster and better? That constant evolution must keep happening in the age of AI that we find ourselves. It's so important for us to be conscious of this. And of course, learning. This one, I'm very big on it. And that's why I, kudos to everybody who is in the room on this beautiful Saturday morning. You could be Netflix and chilling, but in a good place, because you know what? The dynamics of learning has shifted, right? Before now, learning was the company. Those of us who started our careers much earlier, you can relate. Your company would create a schedule for your learning. They will book you for your trainings. Some companies still do that, but look, it's not enough. Because of this broader scope, this wide opportunity, the multiple things you can be, the multiple roles you can play, your learning has to move from company-led, in other words, your box or limited to what your company is doing, to being self-directed and continuous. You have to be the director. You have to sit on the front row of your personal development. I was looking at what my expenses, I was pondering through my expenses in the last 5 years and the things I've spent the most money on. And I realized that the line item that I have spent the most money on is learning. More than I've spent on food, more than I've spent on clothes, more than I've spent on fuel is learning. In the last 5 years, I've invested thousands of dollars to stay ready for opportunities. And it pays off. It does, because nobody can take it from you, right? I mean, up until recently, I worked in a full-time employment myself. So those monies, were not from my employer. My employer did his own, but I was at the front row, in the front row of my learning. Very important. Very, very important. Okay, and finally, job security is no longer a matter of, oh, you're secure because you've been here for 20 years. We've been seeing the layoffs going on, right? So it's no longer, oh, hey, you've given 6 years, you stayed the longest, so you'll stay. No. Now we are seeing layoffs happening where the older guys are the ones exiting first. First in, first out. For those of us who have accounting background, my background is accounting, right? So it's no longer about length of time. Your job is not secure because you've been on it the longest. Your job is secure because of the quality of skills you have, and also because of the quality of networks you are building. This is so important, right? Because some people are comfortable, but please don't be. You have to, and I always say it's a skill conversation, not a knowledge conversation. It's not just about going to learn. Knowledge is what you know. Skill is what you can do. Please note this. Knowledge is what you know. Skill is what you can do. You translate your knowledge to skill by solving problems with that knowledge. By solving problems with that knowledge, you translate it to skill. And it's so important. Many people are holding certificates. I learned this, I know this. What can you do? Is the question we're asking in interviews now. What can you do? What problems can you solve? So let me go right ahead. Frida, please note that because I'm sharing screen, I will not be able to see your emoji reactions. So you might want to prompt me by audio when you need to, please. Thank you. So 7 guaranteed hacks. I'll quickly run through these because I also would love to take questions. So 7 guaranteed hacks. These are guaranteed hacks, all right, to lead and thrive as a young professional. These ones will deliver. Like I'm saying to you that if you hold on and keep your focus on these 7 things, you can't be outdated. You will be highly sought after. I guarantee you this. You'll be highly sought after. You will be, you know what they call a hot cake talent. That's what you will be. And that's what you want to be in this time. I mean, we've seen how, thanks to AI researchers, some of them are now earning more than footballers. Before now, highest earning footballers like Ronaldo, like the highest paid in the world. Now we're seeing an AI researcher right, coming on the block and earning more than him just because he's being pushed from one end to another. Now we are trading talents like we trade talents in football. The world is different. What you want to be is not just a good guy. You want to be a great guy. You want to be, at every point, whatever journey you're going on with your career, you should be thinking, how can I be among the top 3, the top 10? That's what it takes, because gone are the days when you say, oh, you know, salary made nobody a billionaire. Salaries are making people billionaires. It's a question of skill. What do you have? So what are some hacks? And the acronym we're working with is MARSV. MARS as in Mars. And then we're going to have 3 S's, you know, in there. So MARSV. MARSV is the acronym we're working with. So let's get into it real quick, right? What does M represent? M represents your mindset. You must embrace a positive mindset about work. And this is so important because, look, let's stop playing. I need you to realize that, what do I mean by positive mindset about work? So people are showing up in the workplace, from a point of survival. If you're showing up from a point of survival, you cannot be exceptional, I'm sorry. You, compared to the guy who understands that work is how I add value to this world, work is how I imprint my value on this world, work is how I make a difference in this world, work is how I leave a mark of exceptionality on this world. You're not playing the same game. So it's very important for you to record, and that is why I'm all for, look, in this time that we are, you can absolutely do something that you love. There are options. So don't just drag your feet. Don't, this soft life conversation at the earlier point of your career, read anybody's profile that is significant or is somebody. I mean, the young man who recently retired from Money Point wrote his story. And I took a screenshot of part of it because that's the part that we don't like to talk about. He talked about long work hours. He talked about sleepless nights. That is a characteristic of the foundational years of anybody who will build anything significant. I'm sorry, I wish there was a shorter route or an easier way. But soft life is not a life without work. Soft life is a life where you are creating meaningful work that adds value and then enjoying the rewards of that work. Nobody is coming to save you. Except your strategy to success is marry a prince, and of course, that's a different pathway for you. You need to find out how to get in a room where you get skilled for that. But if you're one of those who want to add value to this world, you have to look at work as the way, allow me to use this analogy, the way you co-create with God. Think about it. The device you are using to listen to this session is a product of somebody's work. The clothes that you are wearing is a product of somebody's work. The wristwatch, the whatever, so why has it gotten to your turn and you don't want to work? Instead of looking for an escape from work, think about how you can do work that is fulfilling, meaningful, and purposeful to you. Work that makes you feel excited. I intentionally transitioned my way out of a career path to this career path that I'm on now because I found more meaning and purpose here. They say that when you do something you love, you will not work a day in your life. It's not really true, Sha. You work. The only difference is that the outcomes of your work will give you joy, because you genuinely find meaning and purpose in it. So this week now, I've been in sessions upon sessions. Yesterday, all through yesterday, I was doing a training for leaders on one of the Pan-African banks in Nigeria for their senior executives all day, 9 to 5 p.m. I'm here again because I understand the value that my work adds to organizations and to individuals, and I show up purposefully and joyfully. So you find what that work looks like for you. But let's leave that conversation of, oh God, why do I have to work? Why is my father not Dangote? If you don't do what you need to do, your children will ask you the same question. Why is my father not? Why didn't my father buy? So wait, it's time to get up and move. Right? I know it's hard talk, but it's necessary, especially as a young person. Embrace a positive mindset about what work is, how you add value to this world. Don't just go to work. Grow through work. Work is a means through which you grow. Without work, some of you, nothing will have changed about you between when you left school and now. But work has forced you to onboard new skills, so sharpen your skills. Work is also how you grow. So don't just go to work, grow through work, right? And I'll leave you with a question. Think about this, because this is one of the ways that you can find purpose in your work. What is the connection between your current job role and your personal career goals? What is the connection between your current job roles? For those who are in employment, if you can't see a connection between the job you're in now and some of your personal career goals, or you don't even have any career goals, it's not a good place to be, because self-motivation is the most powerful kind of motivation. Nothing motivates you like knowing where you are going and the fact that this path that you're on is leading you there, albeit one day at a time. So recognize the connection between your job role and your personal career goals, and it will help you to stay motivated on the difficult days of work. I don't have much time. I'll give you some personal stories there, but let's move. The second point, remember we're on MARSV, M for mindset, A for awareness, practice self-awareness. We're talking about, managing a noisy world. The world is noisy. People are jumping from career path to career path, from one tech job to another tech path, because they're too busy looking on the outside, looking at what others are doing. It's okay. Look at what they're doing, but it should give you conviction in the line of what you already know about yourself. I remember when I started my career, so people went off doing certain professional exams and all just because somebody else is doing it in your team. Have you clarified what are my own strengths? You must practice self-awareness, otherwise everybody will look like they're ahead of you. Titles and job descriptions are aside. Who are you? Right? How much do you know about yourself? Because there's an inner compass. You can go into AI and type different things and ask different questions, but you also have an inner compass. You can reflect. You can look at the patterns of your interests. What does your personality profile tell you about yourself? About the kind of areas you will thrive in. There is no point taking yourself as fish out of water into land and trying to struggle with people who are great in land. Pick your own territory and own it and excel there. You can do everything, but look, I'm an advocate for play to your strengths. Because when you work on your weaknesses or try to play to your weaknesses in a career choice, you will develop incrementally. But when you're playing to your strengths, you will develop exponentially. It's significantly different. Look at the guys who are the best in different industries. You'll find that something about the way they are wired as individuals matches very well with the kind of work that they do. There's still a part of discipline and growth, but work to your strengths. So what does your personality profile tell you about the choices you should be making? What are your strengths? There are personality profiling tests you can do online, free ones. There are strength tests you can do. What are your triggers? What kind of problems do you want to solve in this world? A lot of answers lie within you, and a lot of answers lie in your journey so far. You can look back, cast your mind back. What are roles I really enjoyed? What are the parts of my work I least enjoy? The goal is to always be in a role that allows you to do at least the majority of what you love. There will always be those aspects of your job that you don't enjoy, normal. But it should not be the majority of what you do. Do you see what I mean? It's like 70% of this work I enjoy. There's this 30% part that, I don't like writing reports, but yeah, I have to do it, but it's fine. The 70% makes up for the 30%. As opposed to being in a role where 70% of what you do is stuff that you struggle with, whereas you have other things that you enjoy, that you are good at, that people call you to do, and it's just wasting away. Right? So personal self-awareness, A is for awareness. AI has some answers, but you also have some answers locked on your inside. It's not a coincidence that you are wired the way that you're wired. It's not a coincidence that you have the gifts and the talents that you have. There are pointers to you about some areas you can excel or some things you can make skills out of. Please look within you for answers as well. I like to leave you with this thought. When you don't know who you are or where you are headed, everybody else will seem like they are ahead of you. And that's the problem with comparison. There are people, look, you'll be comparing yourself with people that you're not on the same lane, you're not on the same race, because you are not aware enough to know these are my strengths, this is where I'm headed, this is where I'm going. So I'm happy for you, I'm giving you thumbs up. I know we're not in the same race. I'm rooting for you, but I'm not going to compare myself or feel down. Say, this is my guy. We graduated 5 years, already doing this. Is your path leading you in the same direction? People's success should inspire you, but it should not lead to comparison that makes you feel down about yourself. So let's move on quickly. We've done M and A, now we're in S. The first S is seasons. Know and leverage your career season. I won't spend too much time here because I did a video on career seasons, and I'll probably just share the link of that. But the point is, look, your career happens in seasons, right? At your entry level, you're in what I call like your apprenticeship season. In that season, what is most important is learning and growing your skills above even making money. Because it's just a matter of time. If you over-exaggerate the skill you have at your entry level and you're chasing money, it will get you some money, but you will not grow exponentially to earn even more. By the time your mates who prioritize growing their skills are moving to their mid-level career, you have dwindled because that thing that you had when you came out of school is no longer as relevant. Your foundational years are about building those pillars that will carry your career. And what's more important, it's nice if you can have excessive money or, a lot of money and growth as well. But if you have to pick between one or the other, you have an opportunity, maybe two opportunities. One company is paying you more, but you know that the growth potential is small because maybe the size of the company, their revenue, the size of the team, right? And you have that versus the opportunity to be in a place where they will not pay you as much, but the growth potential is expansive. In your earliest career years, please prioritize growth. And this is important. I wish I had time to stay here a bit, but I'm telling you, it's so important because a lot of people lose relevance quickly because they started to prioritize money too early, even if it means volunteering, even if it means doing it for free. At your earliest years, what is most important? Because what you come out of school with is majorly knowledge. You need to convert your knowledge to skill. Skill is what you can do. So by the time you have your skills set, your skill is set. That's what we call skill set. Once your skill is set, you can command more value. You can command more volume. So don't go and be using knowledge to, hey, do you know what I know? Do you know how many courses I've taken? Prioritize converting your knowledge to skill in your earlier years. But in that video, I'll share the link so that maybe it can be emailed to everybody to watch. It talks about the other, because of time, I can't talk about the 4 career seasons, but there's a time to be visible. There's a time where your priority should be being out there, writing articles, thought leadership. Every other season you can be doing it, but there's a time where you must be doing that. Your personal branding and visibility is critical. So understand every season and give to each season what it demands. It's just like the weather. When it's rainy season, there's things you should go out with. You don't need them during sunny season, right? But if you don't go out with those things on a rainy day, you would be disadvantaged. And it's really just you not adapting to the season. So know your career season and maximize your career season. When it's time to learn. When it's time to earn. You would always earn, but there's a time to grow your skill, especially in the first 3 to 5 years of your career or your business. Number 4 is practice stewardship, right? I'll speak quickly to this. What is stewardship? Stewardship is, let me give you a simple story, right? For those of us who are Bible people, you can relate to this story, but it's just a simple life story that anybody can relate to. One person, right, is giving 1 talent, right? And that person takes it and does nothing with it. The person who is giving 5 multiplies it and has 10 and is then giving more. What does that mean in simple terms for you? Anywhere you find yourself, be a steward of the resources you are giving. Be a multiplier. Be somebody that you steward. When you join an organization, you're not just focused on your role, doing what you've been told to do and exiting. You're actually focused on multiplying. You're looking out for problems and saying, oh, how can I solve this for the company? Your stewardship is you're a career person, but you're thinking like an entrepreneur, serving like an employee. You think like an entrepreneur, you serve like an employee. An entrepreneur is always thinking about value add. And that's stewardship. People who are not stewards, I'm just here, just do my own, let me just do and be going, Jerry. Let me do the one that's been given to me. But nobody becomes highly sought after like that. Most of the people that become highly sought after employees, they went about solving problems that nobody sends them to solve. But they saw a problem, and that's what an entrepreneur would do. That's what an entrepreneurial mind would do. What's the value here? How can we create a product here? How can we create a service here? They are the ones making recommendations. It's a steward mindset. Give me 1 and I'll give you 2. Give me 5 and I'll give you 10. It's a mindset. I remember when I joined the organization I worked in last, we had there was this, bold vision to hit a particular revenue margin, and we were far from it. It became my personal goal. It's not my money, but I'm just like, while I'm here, we must achieve this goal. And we did. When we did, it was like, hey, it was a big thing. Christina, but for me, it was personal fulfillment because that's what this is about. I don't even want to achieve that goal. And the following year, I doubled the goal. Because for me, it's not my money, but it's a bragging right for me. When I go and I'm in front of leaders, what have you done? What value have you done? I say, oh, I worked in social place. When I came in, the revenue was this annually. In social number of years, it became that. And by social year, it became that. It tells, I don't need to say much. As a leader with that kind of result, it tells people a lot about the kind of person I am. Because some people come into roles and things are stagnant and they're okay with it as long as they're getting their salary. That is not a steward mindset. A steward is a doubler. A steward is a value adder. So that's it. Now, the third S is skills. And I've spoken to this as already. Keep growing your skill. Remember, this is not about knowledge. I'm not saying keep getting knowledge. I'm saying keep growing your skills. Add to it. Improve on the ones that exist. But don't just be a knowledge person. You just jump into sections. You're just learning. You're just amassing knowledge. No. Beyond knowledge, convert to skill. Solve problems with that knowledge and make skills out of them. It is skills that earn you money, not knowledge. So keep growing your skills. I won't spend time here because I already spoke about this earlier. Number 6, remember, we're on our way to 7 and we're almost there. Number 6 is be visible. At whatever level, please be visible.
Yeah.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Okay, you have 10 minutes.
All right,
10 minutes,
thank you.
10 minutes more.
Thank you. I'm already wrapping up. Thank you. Very helpful. So be visible, right? Number 6 is, remember, we're doing MARSV. So we've done the 3 S's, right? And we're here, be visible. And what does be visible speak to? It speaks about being seen and letting your work be known. Look, it was before now that the whole concept of my work will speak for itself, was valid. We're in a time now where you have to learn to add your voice to your work. Not from a place of see me, but from a place of this is what I'm capable of. Because we're in a global village. I've seen people get international jobs just because of a post they made on LinkedIn, speaking about something they did or value they added. I've seen people get international jobs based on newsletters they published, speaking about a particular topic in the area of their work. So whatever being visible is not just about, doing videos, posting on social media. It's also a very strategic thing. Understand your industry. Now, anybody that is writing articles, for example, or making blog posts about artificial intelligence is getting attention. They will not even put their video out there or put their voice out there, but their writings are speaking for them. So this applies at various levels in various seasons of your career, but be visible is, allow me again, use a Bible reference. It says nobody lights a candle and put it under a bushel. In other words, you light fire and then you hide it. That's what you do when you're just working in the dark. One day, my work will speak for me. Only God sees the hearts. Men see the outward. Men see what they are shown. Men's perception is built on what they see. So be visible, even for you who works in a career, right? You're in meetings, strategic meetings, and they say, does anybody have any question? Before you come to the meeting, you should have read up, understood the conversation that we're going to have, and then come in there and make valuable contributions, even as an early career professional. Because remember now, from early years, we expect you to be adding strategic value. So you should read up. Don't go for any meeting casually. That could be your moment. You don't know who is there. I've had many big moments off from meetings where all I shared is one thought, one idea. I was reading a post made by a finance leader recently where she was sharing how, randomly in the audience, the MC passed the microphone to her to speak to a particular topic. She was not a speaker, but just what she said opened a major door for her in that meeting. If she came unprepared or just was lackadaisical in that moment, she would have missed a big international opportunity. You never know who is watching. You never know who is listening. You never know who is reading. Your work is what? Shine your light. Let your light so shine. Let it be seen. Not because of eye service, but you're actually doing the work. Do you see my point? Be visible is not, you're not doing anything. You just come online and be making noise. No. You actually do the work. So how about you put it out there? Because that skill that is earning you a few thousands of naira may be valued as thousands of dollars in another region. But somebody needs to see that you can do that thing. The final thing, number 7, R, right, is build meaningful relationships. R for relationships. So we had M, we had A, we have R, 3 S's, and of course V. So R there is for relationships, build meaningful relationships. And this is important because we have realized that in the world that we are, people can actually go a whole week, in fact, a whole month, without meeting one new person. Our eyes are blinded by followers online. You have 100 followers. How many of them do you know personally that you can call upon on the day of opportunity or the day of trouble? We've been blinded by this whole, and it's okay to have thousands of followers. But me, as I am, I'm always seeking to connect with people. You can't connect with thousands of people, but I'm saying build meaningful relationships. Like, don't be someone that, in reality, you don't even have 2 people. But online, you have 10,000. Build meaningful relationships. Because why is this important? I always say that people are doorkeepers of opportunities. If you check it, a number of opportunities you've come into, some of you even been in this room now, is because somebody made a post. Somebody told you about it. A lot of opportunities you will step into, it's a human being that will open the door, whether by informing you about it or mentioning your name when you're not there. So if you don't have meaningful relationships, you are checking out of meaningful opportunities without knowing it, because people are doorkeepers of opportunities. So please, don't be carried away with social media. You go online, you see 1,000 posts, you have 1,000 likes, but you have 0 friends. You have 0 connections within your industry. Build meaningful relationships. All right? So those are the hacks, MARSV, we've shared together. And I trust that it's valuable for you. As I end, I would like to say that today's workplace rewards not just what you know, but how quickly you can learn, adapt, and lead, even without a title. It's no longer about titles. People without titles have been singled out and rewarded just because they are consciously learning, adapting, and leading in industries, adding value. And all of these, remember the point about, I wanted to speak to transitions under the point about self-awareness. When it comes to transitioning, please make sure you're not making a move just because of something you're seeing on the outside. Make sure it's something that is driven also from your inside. The moment you start to feel uncomfortable in a particular place, your first line of action is not to quit where you are. It's actually to step back and introspect. Your emotions are indicators, an invitation to step back and reflect. Why am I feeling uncomfortable? This thing that I used to enjoy and love, why is it suddenly becoming tedious and cumbersome? Is there something I'm missing? It's in that process of self-inquiry that you can uncover a navigator for the next phase. But don't just move and hop around. Move with intentionality. Leverage the answers that are on your inside while you also get answers from your outside. So I hope this has been helpful for us. It's been a pleasure sharing. I will stop sharing now, and hopefully we can squeeze in one or two questions before my time is completely up. Thank you for having me again. It's been an actual pleasure sharing. I hope I wasn't too fast. I was trying to race against time.